Hi everybody. Today we're going to be looking at changes that we can expect to see or to feel in our mind and how to deal with that, and especially if we might feel like we're going nuts while we meditate. This is a channel where you can learn the ins and outs of mindfulness practice, get tips and tricks on meditation, and no matter what your level, where you can meditate with me. So welcome or welcome back. I am new to YouTube, so if you could go ahead and subscribe to the channel, give this video a like and comment, that would be awesome, as I am working to build my subscriber base, and I'm sure we can do that with your help. So that said, let's go ahead and dive into the video today. One of my subscribers actually asked me, like, I feel like I'm going nuts when I'm meditating. And I love that she asked me this, because it's something that happens, and it's something that you might even expect, especially if you're brand new to meditation. Why is that? And actually, why is it a good sign? Why is it? It's because, and now everyone is different, so I don't think you should, necessarily take this as like going to be a guarantee, but a lot of people do have this experience, so I just wanted to kind of put it out there. But basically, when we meditate, we're becoming more familiar with our own mind. We're becoming more familiar with maybe processes that happen in the background that we've never noticed, things that have been going on for decades or years and years, and it's just something that's almost a secret to us because we've never taken the time to sit and really be still. And when we have that stillness and we have that focus on our breathing, things come up and we begin to notice different things. Why is this a good thing? The reason I see it as a good thing, and I definitely think it's something that's part of the path and part of your development, is that it's an insight. It's a new level of awareness. It's a new level of experiencing yourself that you never have before, or maybe just in short glimpses, but not in this level of sort of attention and focus and concentration. So if you are feeling something along those lines of like, wow, my mind feels really crazy, it feels totally chaotic, then please don't take that as a bad sign. It's a sign that you are on the right path, and keep going. You definitely don't want to stop now, because then you might have this kind of experience of like, okay, it's just nutty, or it's just crazy. And I want to make sure you have a feeling of more groundedness, of success, of that sort of thing. And if you keep practicing, then I know you will get there. So like I said, keep going. And I think another thing a little bit related to this is sometimes while we're meditating, we might even have physical sensations that seem completely out of our experience. I don't want to scare anyone, but there are these things that can happen that people do experience, like on a regular basis. Like, for example, I'll give you an example so it's not something so vague. When I was first beginning meditating, there would be times where I felt like I was bent, like literally bent over, like this, that my torso was like bent in this way, and I would even sometimes like move just to be like, is that really happening? And it's not something I can quite explain the why, but I do think the reason for it is that we're sort of processing so much data and so much experience in our body and in our minds that sometimes it's just sort of taking us to a new place or showing us a new way. I wouldn't necessarily focus so much on that stuff. But it is something that you might learn to expect and come to experience. So just giving you a heads up, don't freak out, just keep going with the practice. And the last thing I'll say is that when we have thoughts about our thoughts, when we're thinking like, wow, it's so crazy that there's so much thinking going on, or my mind, it feels so chaotic, and you might even feel guilt or a sense of shame for having it could be the type of thinking, like maybe there's a lot of violent thoughts if you have some anger going on, or just crazy, weird, strange things, just all kinds of Anything you can basically think of is going to come up at some point eventually in your meditation. So I just want to remind you about our practices. Our practice is that when we find ourselves thinking that we're going to do our best to bring our mind back to the breath. And so if we already have a thought about, maybe beating someone up, that we're going to try not to have just another thought of, okay, it's so terrible that I'm thinking about this, or, oh, it's so terrible that I'm having all of these different thoughts. The instruction is that regardless of where we're at in the time that we realize our thinking, that we're going to bring our mind back to the breath. And that said, sometimes it's not going to be easy to do that. Sometimes it might even feel impossible, but that's okay. We're just going to gently try and do that as long as it takes. And that, again, that is what we're practicing. That is meditation. Meditation isn't just sitting there and just, okay, I'm focusing on my breath and everything is perfect. It is the process of bringing our mind back. And it is also the time when we actually are on our breathing and feeling maybe calm or stable. So it's the whole thing. So just, let's just remind ourselves that it's not just about that goal. It's also about that process, and both of them together is what is meditation. And a lot of times there's that kind of that focus on, just that perfect state of just, being enlightened, or just being perfectly calm or perfectly focused. And that's kind of false advertising. It's not really telling us the whole story. And in a way, it's leaving out the most important part, which is bringing our mind back. That is what we're doing. That is the practice of meditation. Okay, so thanks so much. Let me know if you have any questions about what I covered today. Please go ahead and leave them in the comments below. That's very helpful to me and to the other viewers on the channel. You're also free to send me a message on Instagram. And now that we've covered all that, we'll just do a short meditation, as that's what we do here on the channel. We give some instruction, and then we go ahead and practice together. So if you're not already seated, go ahead and find your seat. Whether you're in a chair or sitting down on the floor like me. Just taking a moment to connect with your body, to feel your physical body. And actually feel it. Feel the sensation in your butt when you sit down. Feel the feeling in your legs. Try to get a bit detailed. What does it feel like inside your chest when you breathe? And after that initial contact with our body, we are moving our focus now into our practice, into the heart of our practice, which is our breathing. And just breathing in and breathing out. Just noticing the sensations as we breathe. You can also notice the tone of the breath, is there a kind of emotional feeling of pleasure, of discomfort? Is it relieving? And no matter what it is, just noticing that and coming back to the breath, coming back to the here and now. again, if our mind is distracted, if we might feel overwhelmed with our thoughts, just coming back gently to our practice, to our anchor of the breath. And we'll take one more breath here. And that's all for today. So thank you so much for sitting with me and for listening. Please let me know if you have any questions once again, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.